Alexa, play Send Me Radio.
Welcome to Send Me Radio.
The story of Daniel 1, faithfulness in a foreign land, the siege of Jerusalem, and the captivity. It was the 3rd year of King Jehoiakim's reign in Judah when Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, marched against Jerusalem. The mighty Babylonian army besieged the city, and soon God allowed Judah to fall into Nebuchadnezzar's hands. The Babylonian Chronicles, a set of ancient clay tablets, confirm that Nebuchadnezzar captured Jerusalem in 605 BC and took valuable treasures from the temple of the Lord. As recorded in Daniel 1 verses 1-2, Nebuchadnezzar king of Babylon came to Jerusalem and besieged it. And the Lord delivered Jehoiakim king of Judah into his hand, along with some of the articles from the temple of God. These he carried off to the temple of his God in Babylonia and put in the treasure house of his God. Among the captives taken to Babylon were young men of royal and noble blood, handsome, intelligent, and well-educated, who were selected to serve in the king's court. This practice was common in the ancient Near East, as victorious empires often took the best and brightest from conquered nations to assimilate them into their own administration. Among them were Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah, young men who had grown up learning the ways of the Lord. Though their world had been turned upside down, their faith remained unshaken. A new life in Babylon, learning the ways of a foreign culture. The journey to Babylon, one of the greatest cities of the ancient world, was long and arduous. Excavations of Babylon's ruins reveal the grandeur of its massive walls, luxurious palaces, and the famed Ishtar Gate, confirming the biblical depiction of its splendor. Once in Babylon, Ashpenaz, the chief official, received orders from the king: select the best and brightest of the young men of Judah. Train them for 3 years in our language, our literature, and our customs. They will eat from the king's table and drink his wine, and afterward they will serve before the king. The renaming of Daniel and his friends Ashpenaz followed Babylonian assimilation policies and gave them new names to erase their Hebrew identity. Daniel was called Belteshazzar. Hananiah became Shadrach. Mishael was renamed Meshach. Azariah was given Abednego. The renaming was significant. Nebuchadnezzar sought to replace their devotion to Yahweh with loyalty to Babylonian gods. However, though their names changed, their faith did not. A test of faith, the king's food and wine. One day, Daniel and his friends were presented with royal food and wine. The best dishes from Nebuchadnezzar's table, prepared by the finest Babylonian chefs, were placed before them. However, Daniel immediately realized the problem. 1. The food may have been offered to Babylonian gods, violating the commandment against idolatry. 2. Some of the meats were unclean, forbidden by Jewish dietary laws. Determined to honor God, Daniel turned to his friends. "We cannot defile ourselves with this food," he said. They all agreed. Daniel approached Ashpenaz, the chief official, and respectfully asked, "Please, allow us not to eat the king's food or drink his wine." Ashpenaz hesitated. "I fear my lord the king. If you grow weak and sickly, he will hold me responsible. I cannot risk my life for your request." But God had granted Daniel favor, and so he turned to Melzer, the official assigned to them. "Please test us for 10 days, Daniel proposed. "Give us only vegetables to eat and water to drink. Then compare us with the other young men who eat the king's food, and see who is healthier." Melzer, though skeptical, agreed. The result, God's favor and supernatural wisdom. For 10 days, Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah ate only vegetables and drank water. At the end of the test, they stood before Melzer. To his amazement, they looked healthier and stronger than all the other young men who ate the rich food from the king's table. Seeing this, Melzer allowed them to continue their special diet, unknowingly proving that obedience to God brings blessings. As the years of training went on, God blessed Daniel and his friends with extraordinary knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Daniel, in particular, received a divine gift. God gave them knowledge and understanding of all kinds of literature and learning. And Daniel could understand visions and dreams of all kinds. Examination before King Nebuchadnezzar. When the 3 years of training ended, Ashpenaz presented all the young men before Nebuchadnezzar for examination. The king questioned them on wisdom, knowledge, and understanding in various subjects, including Babylonian history, astronomy, and literature. Among all the candidates, Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah excelled beyond their peers. In every matter of wisdom and understanding about which the king questioned them, he found them 10 times better than all the magicians and enchanters in his whole kingdom. Because of this, Nebuchadnezzar appointed them as royal advisors, one of the highest honors in the empire. Though they lived in a foreign land filled with idolatry and pagan customs, God had placed them in positions of influence while preserving their faith. Lessons and relevance today. Faithfulness in a foreign land. Just as Daniel and his friends stood firm in their faith despite being in a pagan society, believers today face pressure to conform. Their story teaches us to remain faithful to God. Standing for God in small things leads to bigger blessings. Their refusal to eat the king's food led to greater wisdom, favor, and promotion. Small acts of faithfulness open doors to greater blessings. God honors those who trust him even in a kingdom filled with idol worship. God protected and elevated Daniel and his friends, proving that his power surpasses all earthly authorities. Wisdom and integrity bring influence. Daniel and his companions excelled not by compromising, but by standing firm, showing that godly wisdom surpasses worldly knowledge. Conclusion. Daniel 1 is a powerful reminder that God is sovereign, even in times of adversity. Through faith, wisdom, and obedience, Daniel and his friends gained favor in a foreign land. Their story encourages us to trust God, live with integrity, and stand firm in our beliefs, knowing that he is always in control.
Thank you for listening to Send Me Radio. Visit us on the web at www.sendmeradio.net.